Hey, I'm Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life. Jolly old St. Nicholas, aka Santa Claus, may be facing eminent domain. Several countries are claiming the Arctic region at the North Pole, causing Santa Claus to have to seek legal action, allegedly. While the North Pole is primarily shifting sea ice, underneath all of that ice and water is oil, and lots of oil. They say that at least 30% of the world's oil supply is underneath the North Pole. Now, at one point, there was an agreement between all the countries of the world that the North Pole was to be shared by everyone, so to speak. But that's changed over recent years as many countries are laying claim to the area's vast, rich resources of black gold underneath the ocean. And as I'm sure you can imagine, unless you have Santa's sleigh and reindeer and elves, it's kind of hard to get to the North Pole and to navigate its ice and frigid conditions unless you have the right tools. And it just so happens that Russia does have the right tools. It has a nuclear-powered ice-breaking ship. It's one of a kind, so to speak, and they're the only country to have one as of right now. Now, the U.S., not to be outdone, is focusing on the South Pole and its rich resources, which kind of hard to find the resources of the South Pole. There's not a whole lot written on the internet about the vast richness and the expanse of the South Pole. So far, what we do know is that there's a whole lot of science taking place, most of which has to do with environmental science. But there does seem to be a race between the North Pole and the South Pole, as our Secretary of State has visited the South Pole. Allegedly, Barack Obama has visited the South Pole, even though I can't find any hardcore evidence that he did actually visit. It's even said that the Pope has visited the South Pole and several other dignitaries, and we really don't exactly know why they visited the South Pole other than to check upon the science research. But here's the thing, the South Pole is definitely colder than the North Pole, so if Santa wanted to move, the South Pole would probably be a better bet than the North Pole. After all, there is land on the South Pole as opposed to the North Pole, and it does seem like between Russia and Denmark, Santa is going to be evicted. I reached out to the Claus Village and the Elves Workshop, and I received no comment or answer for that matter, but I did try. Channels of communication are still open if you want to contact me. Santa, I'm here. We can start a GoFundMe for you if you're facing eminent domain. And by the way, eminent domain is when a government takes your land for development or for reason national security or national development. And it seems like Santa might be facing eviction from several countries who want to get the oil riches from underneath the North Pole. And if that makes gas prices go down, Santa, I would just go to the South Pole. I'm just saying, I mean, gas is, a great Christmas gift. Low gas prices is a good Christmas gift for everyone. It's like a stocking stuffer. And come to think of stocking stuffers, it used to be said that if you got a lump of coal in your stocking, it was bad. But considering energy prices, maybe we should reconsider the lump of coal. And again, I'm talking to Santa here. Maybe the lump of coal would be a good thing. If you got a lump of coal in your stocking, that would mean like you supported coal mining and you supported energy and low energy costs. I'm all for a lump of coal in my stocking. I think that would be a good thing. But if you believe that the only reason why America and the several other countries are populating the South Pole with a whole bunch of scientists and that it all has to do with environmental research, well, I've got land to sell you at the North Pole. Of course, we know that there isn't land at the North Pole, just shifting sea ice. Either way, something's definitely going on at the South Pole and the North Pole as all of the world's superpowers are racing to the poles for either energy source or aliens, depending on which YouTube channel you go to for your information. I think the alien story is great. I just can't seem to make myself believe that we're covering up aliens in the coldest part of the world. I don't know of an alien one that would want to be in the South Pole as opposed to, let's say, Florida or maybe even Kansas or California, New York, Tennessee. I mean, South Pole, cold. Why would an alien want to be in the cold? Doesn't make sense to me. I'm just not for that. I think an alien would want to be in a nice tropical area, something where you could take a vacation and enjoy what Earth has to offer and accept all the ice and snow. They're aliens. I mean, they're from other planets. Why else would they be here if not to, visit one of the theme parks in Florida or maybe visit another theme park here in the U.S. or abroad? I'm a tourist. That's why I would go to another planet. Why should we assume aliens are any different? Nevertheless, something's going on the South Pole. There's a lot of people been visiting down there, and there's a whole lot going on the North Pole. So Santa, I would keep my options open. There's some realtors here in our area that could probably help you if you wanted to relocate, and there are other colder places in the world if you wanted to keep your magic shop and elves secret and feed your reindeer and make sure that you still have that mystical environment about you. It's just that it looks like the North Pole's not going to be an option. I also just wanted to remind everybody that we have a contest going on. You will get a free box of retro 1970s looking Christmas lights if you can help us decide if our Christmas tree is tacky or retro. Now, I just want to remind you of the rules. You have to subscribe to Bill Marion, A Nose for Life, the YouTube channel. That's number one. Number two, you have to hit that like button. Number three, you have to share. And number four, you have to comment in the section on any of these videos related to retro or tacky or retro, referring to our Christmas tree. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I'm Bill Marion. This is A Nose for Life.